What's going on, everybody? It's Sale, and coming at you with a brand new video, and today, Season 3, Reign of Talon into the Tiger's Den just dropped, and I'm pretty excited. I'm a bit more excited for future seasons because of the potential characters coming out and stuff, but this one is pretty cool too. We are getting Xion, the new character. We're getting Tokyo, the new hybrid map. I haven't gotten a new map in a while, and most importantly, I'm excited for hopefully some good balance changes. The balance changes here are going to be probably like the biggest make or break like actual experience of the season, because I've been feeling kind of lately about most of the balances. I played mostly Overwatch Classic for the last season when it came out. See, I'm just hoping that we have some good balance changes. Anything I'm thinking of in particular, I think Sierra still does way too much damage. They need to drop her down to like 8 or something. The fact that they went from 7 to 9 is kind of ridiculous. Let's see, D.Va probably still needs a little bit of tuning. I know Jetpack Cat is getting nerfed, like, significantly. I don't think there's, like, a lot of super glaring issues, mostly. But yeah, with that being said, I'm not gonna waste any more time. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Reign of Talon Season 3 Into the Tiger's Den takes Overwatch to a place where bright lights cut through the shadow and who you stand with matters most. Xion arrives in a fast and deadly new damage, as a fast and deadly new damage hero, leading the notorious Hashimoto clan, testing your resolve at every turn. Plus, explore the first new hybrid map in the Anima Strike meta event, uncovering secrets and earning rewards by playing your way through the story. It's the first new hybrid map? That's crazy. Then blaze into battle as Mythic Ascendant Phoenix Solari, wield Hanzo's Tokyo Rebel mythic weapon, and suit up in a brand new Ultra Skin cosmetic tier to bring more spectacle and style to your fight for a better future. Anima Strike, a shadow looms over Tokyo. With support from Overwatch, Kiriko and her companions, the Yokai, fight to loosen the grip of the Hashimoto criminal organization over the city. To do so, they must face off against the Hashimoto's vicious leader, Xion. Over the course of 3 weeks from June 16th to July 6th, players will battle their way through different locations in Tokyo by completing challenges. Each week features a unique 2D hub layout themed around a different location: Neon Junction, Yokai Hideout, or Hashimoto Headquarters. Each layout has branching paths, narrative unlocks, and new rewards, available for only that week. There's also a new prestige track to tackle each week for the most dedicated players. After completing the prestige track, players unlock the ability to complete the paths they didn't choose for that week's layout. However, once the week resets and a new week begins during the event, a new map with new rewards becomes available, and the previous week's layout becomes inaccessible. In total, players can earn 18 loot boxes, 3 epic loot boxes, 3 legendary loot boxes, 3 voice lines, 1 victory pose from Milestone Challenge, 3 sprays, 4 name cards, 90,000 Battle Pass XP, 5 titles, 4 avatars, 2 charms, and 1 souvenir. So I believe this is kind of like the Overwatch vs. Talon event in Season 1. Community crafted. What if Ana had a jetpack? What if Junker Queen could throw her axe? What if Widowmaker could place an explosive tripwire? Well, wonder no more, because we worked with 4 of your favorite creators, Gushue, Apply, OC, and ML7 support, to change every single hero based on their ideas. Gushue is a content creator? I thought Gushue was just a pro player. From June 30th to July 13th, play this brand new version of Overwatch in the arcade and earn the following rewards: Zenyatta Patchy Icon, Reinhardt Spray, Sombra Patchy Icon, Hanzo Patch. We're still missing Patchy Icons? I thought every character had one at this point. I'm not gonna lie, these are kind of mediocre rewards. Most people stick with like 1 icon for a long time, and most of them aren't the patchies. We still only have 4 sprays per wheel. Like, we don't have multiple wheels like Fortnite or anything, so it just feels really hard to justify adding new sprays if you already like the sprays that you have. And let's be real, nobody cares about weapon charms. Excavation Initiative. It's time to break out the excavator and find some treasure. Join us for this new season-long event from June 16th to August 10th, unlocking loot boxes along the way, so it's like the whole season. Win 1 game per day, or any 3 days during the week to complete a dig and earn a loot box. Dedicated players can complete 2 digs a week to earn an additional loot box. Complete a dig twice during the season to gain access to an additional loot box. Complete a dig 4 times during the season for an epic loot box, or our most dedicated archaeologists can complete 6 digs during the season to unlock a legendary loot box. Track daily or weekly progress right from the lobby, view your season progress from the event hub. So yeah, it's just basically an initiative to play the game more, and you get a bunch of loot boxes, which is great. And then Junkrat Loot Hunt is coming back. Competitive play updates. Hero bans. The roster was built with competitive play in mind, allowing players to communicate their preferred heroes effortlessly, but it's also useful to quick play players that want to pick the best map for their allies. Negative votes for preferred heroes prevent most cases where one teammate could successfully vote to ban your preferred hero alone, assuming you also vote to ban at least 2 other heroes. If 2 players on your team want to ban your preferred hero, they'll still be able to outvote you though. Lobby bans are designed to ensure that hero bans feel more responsive to player preferences, banning heroes that both teams prefer not to play against. Lobby bans also give players a better reason than ever to vote if they want a specific hero ban. The roster, described in more detail in core game updates below, gives players the ability to share their favorite heroes with their teams to enable better coordination. This is not going to stop people from banning people's preferred heroes. A player's preferred hero now contributes 3 negative votes during hero hero bans. This would nullify one player's third place vote. Lobby bans are a 5th ban slot that can break the 2 hero role limit. Unlike all other hero bans, lobby bans are calculated for adding together all votes from both teams. If both teams had at least one lobby vote for a hero and there were 10 total votes for a hero, such as 1 first place and 1 third place vote, the hero would be lobby banned. The ban results page of hero bans has new visual updates to help players understand the snake draft and to display the lobby ban. The hero ban phase now displays the number of votes for each of your choices, 7 for first place, 5 for second place, and 3 for third place, and the total number of votes your team has contributed together for each hero. So TLDR, having something as your preferred hero makes it a little bit more difficult to ban, and if both teams vote to ban a character, or have at least one vote for like that character together, but 2 other characters had more votes in total from each team, then that 5th character that both teams didn't want to play against will also get hit. So say Zarya, Sombra, Ana, Roadhog were banned, right? Because those were like the most voted ones. Yeah, that works. And then like out of nowhere, like both teams also randomly had like 1 vote for Kiriko and like nothing really else collectively, then Kiriko would also get banned there. It's something I wasn't like super crazy about because it's just gonna end up being annoying for a lot of like one tricks, for example. You know, it's easier to target ban and stuff, but it's not really the end of the world. It might end up being a really good thing, who knows. Top 500 Challenger live replays. All players can now watch live replays of ongoing matches for players on the top 500 Challenger leaderboards. Live replays are streamed to viewers with a delay to prevent the feature from being used for competitive advantage. Yeah, so you can like spectate now, which is kind of awesome. And then cheater compensation, rank progress compensation awarded to higher ranked players now scales down by respecting the pressure modifier. So yeah, a bunch of big changes for the game in general. But of course, what I and what most of you, let's be real, are here for are the hero updates. The perk system has continued to evolve since Season 1, with ongoing additions to heroes and perks across the roster. This patch includes targeted adjustments to perks that are out of line in pick rate, win rate, or overall effectiveness, with the goal of improving viability and maintaining meaningful choice. Tank, Diva. I still think that they keep hitting Diva's like survivability from like her health and stuff, and then like a tiny bit of her perks, but I think really they just need to cut down Matrix's like total duration, put it back down to what was like 2.5, and when it took 3 seconds, I think back down to 2.5 will probably be a very good hit. But I also think that maybe missiles could use a tiny damage nerf. I don't know. Shield system major perk. Shield conversion reduced from 150 to 100. Okay, so this does hit her survivability with the shields. However, I think this... Actually, I don't know which one was picked more. I like this perk a lot. Makes it super easy to like survive, and especially in 6v6, it's really good for being an off tank by, you know, enabling somebody. But I think the micro missiles one, or not micro missiles, sorry, the primary fire one, where you can like narrow down your primary fire spread like really tight, is just kind of better overall. But it is still a fine change, but I definitely don't think it's nearly enough for Diva to actually stop seeing meta success. Domino, okay, looks like a perk was hit because I scrolled down a little too far in accident. I didn't really think Domino was crazy, but I don't play a lot of 5v5 these days, so I'm not sure if she was doing anything in 5v5. She felt kind of just mediocre, though, after all of her nerfs. Corporate Retreat major perk added. Okay. While Barrier Array is active, it can be moved 1 time to another location. So they just made her Sigma. I mean, it's transformative like perks should be, but and then power move. Was this the one where you could use your barrier as a wall? I always pick the other one. Doomfist. Well, I know he's... Actually, no, I don't think he was actually on the list for rework. I hope they do some kind of rework for Doom where they make him less reliant on Empowered Punch, because it's like... I played a lot of Overwatch Classic, and DPS Doom was just absolutely miserable. So, like, they can't make him that strong as he used to be, but, like, the problem is that they put everything into his Empowered Punch. Like, he can have a little more lethality, man. Power Matrix Major Perk duration reduced from 1 to 0.8 seconds. Okay, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. This, I hope Wrecking Ball actually also gets addressed on this. The Adaptive Shield is really annoying. I think the fuck you die buttons for major perks are like really annoying, especially on tanks. It just makes their survivability really frustrating, and it doesn't really feel like a transformative thing like perks kind of should be for playstyle. It literally just says, okay, you picked characters that would counter mine, you already got perks for them, I'm unfortunately going to pick the thing that just says counter your counter, and I don't care. Hazard. Oh, Hazard definitely needs nerfs. He's fine in 6v6 for the most part, but in 5v5 he is literally like absolutely horrifying from what I've seen. So I hope he gets, also especially in Stadium, he's really bad in Stadium to go against. So hopefully he gets like a little bit of nerf tweaking. Hazard has become a strong pick across multiple scenarios due to survivability, mobility, and lethality. Reducing Spike Guard's duration lowers his ability to sustain during engagements, while adjustments to his major perk distribution reinforce a trade-off between mobility and lethality within his major perks. Anarchic Zeal minor perk, healing increased from 30 to 40%. Reconstitution, move from major to minor. Extra resource cap reduced from 50 to 25. Deep Leap, move from minor to major. Range increased from 15 to 20%. Explosive Impalements, major perk, damage reduced from 40 to 30. And Spike Guard, maximum duration reduced from 3 to 2.5. So they did what they did to Hazard, what they should have done to D.Va. I don't know if this is the play, because I feel like Hazard, I mean, in 5v5 his survivability is kind of like crazy, but like in 6v6, for example, hitting his Spike Guard is going to make Hazard like unplayable, right? Because Hazard's biggest problem is that he has lethality in 6v6, but he doesn't have the survivability in 6v6. I think Hazard's biggest problem is that he has too much lethality. He has like a whole ass one-shot combo, and then on top of that has the survivability. I think that this is going to make 5v5 Hazard feel almost exactly the same to go against. You might be able to punish him like a tiny bit more, but I don't really think it's that great, considering, like I said, he can still one-shot. They're just gonna make 6v6 Hazard feel, like, really, really bad. What does RAM need to be changed? It's probably gonna be something with, Vortex, right? Relentless Form minor perk, duration bonus increased from 1 to 2 seconds, half effectiveness during annihilation, nanite repair, healing increased from 75 to 100, oh, cool, W. I feel like Relentless Form, just the 1 extra second just did not feel worth it whatsoever, and then the nanite repair, I think, is actually, like, this is actually my favorite perk. I really like the nanite repair. I actually don't know what his other major perk is now. Oh, no, it's like, no, it's not double barrier. It's like the wide barrier now again, right? Or they, like, made that a minor, and then they gave him, one of his old minors as a major or something. Yeah, I think it's, is your staff one a major now? I think your staff one is a major now, unfortunately. But I like nanite repair. Back when he, had the Vengeful Vortex, it was, like, as a perk instead of base kit. I really like nanite repair, so it's cool to see it get buffed. Reinhardt, probably just more perk changes. Oh. Reinhardt can struggle against the high mobility of the hero roster. Increasing Fire Strike's projectile speed increases consistency at range and better rewards accurate use. This also crosses double Fire Strike breakpoints against 250 health targets. Damage increased from 120 to 125. Projectile speed increased from 30 to 33. So it got buffed again. The projectile speed already got buffed like a few months ago or like a year ago or something. So it got another speed buff. And now you can double Fire Strike 250s. That's kind of insane. But see, I like that it's not like just a really stupid like shield buff or something like that, or giving him his armor back or anything or whatever, because the Fire Strike aspect of Reinhardt's kit is like super high skill ceiling for like allowing higher ranked players to actually use Reinhardt more effectively, as opposed to this being like a super huge buff for just the low ranked lobbies where he was already dominating, because Ryan's always really needed help in the higher ranks especially. So this is really good, but this might actually be like really scary. You might just blow up the Fire Strikes a lot now. Zarya is getting another nerf. Maybe there's more perk stuff as well. Okay, no. Oh, probably a buff, actually. Oh, wow. Zarya has fallen below intended performance following recent reductions to her primary fire and perks. Reducing energy degeneration increases her ability to retain more energy consistently, increasing uptime while retaining her lower maximum damage output. Energy degeneration rate reduced from 2.5 to 2 energy per second. Okay. I think this is fine. I think Zarya was at her best when Vendetta was really good, because Zarya isn't super oppressive on her own, because even in 5v5, I mean, like, her biggest issue is that she blows up. She falls over super easily. She's got, like, what? 650 HP? And none of it's armor? And she only has the 2 bubbles, and so like something like a Bastion or a Reaper can burst her down like super, super fast. The biggest thing with Zarya is everyone says don't shoot the Zarya bubbles, but if she's low, or if you have the means to get her low like a Bastion turret, just shoot the bubbles, just kill her. Just break through the bubbles and kill her. But Zarya's been really, really good at enabling other people. I was playing a lot of Overwatch Classic. I like playing Zarya in Classic because I like enabling my DPS Doomfist and my Genjis and all my other, you know, diving characters, a Reinhardt charging and a Winston jumping in. It's super satisfying to enable them, because then you have someone in your face that you can't shoot, as opposed to a Zarya that's more like mid-range from you that you can't shoot, that you can actually get away from, while also if you try to shoot back, the Zarya's getting charged, then the Zarya gets to go in. So Zarya's always been really good at enabling super annoying cheese characters like Vendetta, but her herself definitely needed this little bit of help, I think. And also no Wrecking Ball adaptive shield change, womp womp. Onron, are we getting more Onron buffs? I feel like Onron's fine, man. I feel like everyone just doesn't want to actually play a more sustain-based, like, flanker. They just want to play, you know, a character with burst. These changes enhance the fluidity of Onron's abilities, allowing for a smoother ability flow without significantly increasing your overall power. Inferno Rush, reduce recovery after the ability from 0.3 to 0.1 seconds. Dancing Blaze, reduce recovery after the ability from 0.2 to 0.1 seconds. Okay, so this is going to make it a little harder for to hit her after she finishes her abilities. That was the biggest thing I had problems with because I have very bad eyesight these days. I need to get my prescription updated. So I'd be like trying to follow her through her rush and her dancing blaze. I'd be like, oh, all right, let me just line that up. And she's dead. And I'm dead, I should say. She killed me. Because like even with her slower time to kill, she still kills me before I can end up killing her because I'm very bad at tracking the on-run. Yeah, I think this is fine. I'm glad they didn't just like increase fans' damage by 1 again, you know. Ashe. You know what's sad? I think hit scans in general, for the most part, are all really overtuned. And they probably all need, like, soft blanket nerfs, but they're probably gonna buff Ashe because Ashe has fallen off to be worse than Emery because they gave Emery better fall-off, so instead of nerfing Emery's fall-off again, back to where it was, they're just gonna buff Ashe. Okay, minor, perk changes. Double-barreled minor perk, knockback reduction of second shot removed. Okay, that's kind of crazy. Viper Sting major perk, ammo gain removed. Thank God, that was actually insane. Air burst major perk, ammo gain increased from 3 to 6. This is if you shoot the dynamite in the air, right? Something like that? I don't know. This was ridiculous. Viper Sting was one of the most ridiculous perks ever, by the way. Yeah, if you just land any of your, like, 2 of your scope shots in a row, you get that ammo back, so you never have to reload on a character who's supposed to be punished by having to reload for a while. And also you deal extra damage, because why not? Yeah, this is fine. Bastion, some perk changes. Armored Artillery minor perk removed. Smart Bomb minor perk. Okay, so you can get, like, really cool, like grenade jumps now. I mean, that's really cool. And also, this was getting like really cheese anyway. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Cass, even the odds minor perk, healing increased from 30 to 40 healing per second. Silver Bullet, bleed total damage over time reduced from 70 to 50. Duration reduced from 2.5 to 1.5 seconds. Okay, so the bleed damages you faster, but does overall less damage. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Silver Bullet's kind of crazy, man, especially with the roll. You can just, like, Silver Bullet, roll, Silver Bullet. It's like, super annoying. Echo, Particle Scan, minor perk, ultimate charge gained, reduced from 50 to 30. Cool, that means Echo can't just be an ult farmer anymore. Full Salvo, major perk, a number of additional projectiles reduced from 3 to 2. Yeah, I think this is fine. I think Echo's been, like, really sneaky good, but Echo just has a really low, like, play rate. So I feel like a lot of people didn't realize. I think Echo's, like, been really good because you would go like both of these and you would just farm duplicate. You wouldn't care about flanking or anything. You would just boop 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 and you just like farm your duplicate and have like crazy ult charge. Emery, please be a fall off nerf. I love Emery to death. He's one of my favorite DPS. He's super fun and fluid to play, but he is still kind of ridiculous. Emery's ult generation is high due to his damage output and exceeds the impact of the ultimate. Increasing its cost better aligns its charge rate and with its overall effectiveness. Ult cost increased 10%. That's perfectly fine. That's insanely reasonable. So his ult is really good or really bad because a really bad Emery player is going to kind of use it out in the open more than anything, and Emery is super vulnerable during his ult unless everyone's already low and you kill them before they can kill you. But you kind of want to like play it around corners, and you can use like the grenade jump tech to get up there faster so you have like less time being kind of idle. So I think this is fine as opposed to like, you know, nerfing his damage or something. But I still do think he has a bit too much fall off. Genji buffs? Lowering Genji's deflect cooldown increases or improves engagement frequency while also compounding the increased value of the meditation perk. Oh, cool. So they just reduced deflect's cooldown back to where it used to be. I swear it was 12. Am I stupid? I swear it was from 8 to 12 that they nerfed it, which seems kind of excessive, so I probably am wrong. But yeah, this was like the biggest thing that Genji needed, mostly for his uptime. And then meditation, major perk healing increased from 35 to 50. Is this the deflect one? Yeah, compounding the increase. So yeah, while he deflects, he heals more per second, which is kind of crazy. Actually, that is kind of crazy. Why would they do both? Damn, Genji season, guys. This might be a Genji season. Junkrat, Bomb Voyage, minor perk, attack speed bonus increased from 25% to 35%. Ooh, awesome. I like this perk a lot. So I'll play Spam Rat, and then Bomb Voyage was really good for, like, repositioning, and then, like, mid-air still spamming down the same choke even faster. So, like, they see you moving, so they think they can move through, but then you're just like, boo, 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 and they just blow up. It's really funny. May's primary fire range is increased to improve its effectiveness when closing distance on enemies. Deep Freeze is rarely effective as loyal targets are often eliminated before being frozen. Increasing its freeze rate against non-tank heroes makes it more usable without increasing effectiveness against tanks. Deep Freeze increased by 30% against non-tank heroes. Range increased from 10 to 12 meters. I think this is fine, but this is really funny because, like, does Sleep still have reduced effectiveness on tanks? I don't think so, right? Unless you're Stalwart? I feel like they're gonna start slowly going back, going back to where they were on, like, oh, make this less effective against tanks, make this less effective against tanks, yada yada, to the point where the Stalwart role is just gonna feel completely useless, because it already does that. Reaper. Dire Triggers has increased Reaper's strengths across many matchups, and added more lethality to his kit. Combined with his survivability, this pushes him past intended kill potential. Reducing his health lowers his survivability, while preserving the lethality Dire Triggers provides. Health reduced from 300 to 275. Lingering Wraith movement speed bonus. 275 Reaper? Whoa. That's kind of insane. Would Reaper players not rather just lose Dire Triggers? That sounds awful. Wow, I guess you gotta think like a little bit more strategically with them now. That's crazy. Sierra, please be damage nerf. Please be damage nerf. Please be damage nerf. Sierra's projectile size is large relative to her fire rate, making her weapon to a consistent. Reducing projectile size lowers consistency, while improvements to anchor tone's responsiveness, increased mobility, attack grip, improved. Locked in now only provides increased attack speed when tracking shot hits an enemy hero. Base projectile speed or projectile size reduced from 175 to 15. During deploy speed increased, deploy range increased, grapple range increased. So she got buffed with her mobility, which was already annoying with her tracking shot, and instead of reducing her damage, they reduced the projectile size. I mean, the projectile was absolutely gargantuan. Like, I was seeing some console gameplay on Emong's channel from someone that was playing Sierra, and I was just like, what the fuck? How are half of these shots landing? But I still think her damage is the problem. The biggest problem with Sierra is you can just spam down a choke and just brutalize poor tank players, so it feels really, really bad. I don't know. I don't think this is, like, perfect. It's something, though. I'm glad that they at least nerfed Tight Grip, though. And Locked In as well, technically. That's good. Sojourn. Friction Generator's major perk. Max energy gained increased from 50 to 75. Is this... what was this one? This wasn't her overclock one, is it? I don't know. I don't really play Sojourn. Tracer. Kinetic reload minor perk. Ammo gain reduced from 20 to 12. Tracer nerfs are always good in my book. I hate Tracer. Vendetta. Probably buffs, right? Previous reductions to overhead swing range and onslaught movement speed reduce Vendetta's ability to secure eliminations. Increasing onslaught's movement speed and duration improves its effectiveness as a mid-fight tool to stay within striking distance. Her ultimate cost has also been reduced to better align with her current damage output. Sundering Blade ult cost reduced by 15%. Onslaught movement speed boost per stack increased from 2 to 3%. Maximum duration increased from 5.5 to 7.5. I think that's fine. These are probably some of the best things they could do to buff Vendetta, for who's in like a dumpster of a state right now, which kind of deserved, without making her like super crazy broken again. So I think this is perfectly fine. Support. I know of the Juno change in the patch. It's the one Juno change, and it's not really super relevant, especially to me. It's just a perk change. But I'm excited to see any other support changes potentially. Ana Speed Serum minor perk. Movement speed bonus reduced from 40 to 30%. I think that's fine. I think that's totally fine. This perk's kind of crazy. Brigitte Whiplash major perk. Damage increased from 50 to 60. This is, I think, the one where you hit someone into the wall, which I think people were starting to get less and less because it's like, especially on certain maps, it's just really inconsistent, like in the open. Iliari, Rapid Construction minor perk. Cooldown reduction increased from 1.5 to 2 seconds. I liked this one because I don't really get a lot of kills with Ilari's ult, admittedly, but I think this is pretty cool. Jetpack Cat. Okay, so this is where we see all the nerfs. All they needed to do was give Tether a timer, man. That's all they needed to do, but they're going with, like, I know at least 2 nerfs. While Jetpack Cat's win rate and play rates remain low, Lifeline is highly effective at higher ranks when continuously carrying certain heroes. Increasing the fuel regeneration penalty while carrying a target and reducing the strength of transport shielding weakens this strategy, while weapon improvements increase effectiveness outside of Lifeline. Transport shielding minor perk, duration reduced from 5 to 3 seconds, maximum shields reduced from 75 to 50. Headbutt major perk, speed threshold to activate lowered from 16.5 to 14 meters per second, no longer refunds fuel, damage increased from 30 to 50. Frenetic flight, fuel regeneration penalty while carrying a target increased from 2 times to 3 times slower, and biotic projectiles, damage and healing increased from 4 to 4.5 per pellet. Yo, this is so bad. They're doing anything, but just putting it on a timer. Just give Lifeline like a 10-second timer or something. Like, why are they going through all of these hoops while Jetpack Cat, admittedly by them, is already really, really bad? They're gonna nerf the transport shielding perk. They're gonna buff a perk that people still aren't gonna take, especially after they nerfed the flight. And they're gonna punish you for lifelining in general. So, this is really bad when you're trying to lifeline someone to safety. So imagine you're trying to save from the enemy cat's ult, you know, like a jetpack cat going in to save from the enemy jetpack cat's ult, dropping a teammate off the map, or it's just you and your squishy teammate, like your Ana or something, and you don't want to stagger yourselves because the rest of your team's dead, and you try to get out, but you can't get out as fast because your frenetic flight cooldown is super, super long because you're carrying a fucking grandma. But it's okay, guys, because you have half an extra damage and healing per pellet. Freaking awesome, man. I don't know, I think this is just such a bad choice. I think this is a really awful decision on their end. And then Juno, drumroll please, guys. Faster Blaster buffed to 22 pellets per second. They can't make me give up triple jump. They cannot make me. This perk is still bad, and I will not be gaslit into thinking it's remotely good. Life Weaver, I don't know what they could even be doing with Weaver outside of perk changes. Because I know he's getting a rework eventually, but... Improvements to Life Weaver's healing have increased his ultimate charge rate, increasing the ultimate cost to adjust for this while also reverting a previous change to Tree Light's overhealth conversion that made the ultimate too strong and sustained healing. Ult cost increased by 9%, overhealth conversion rate from overhealing reduced from 150. Okay. Life Weaver nerfs, I mean, like, honestly kind of needed. I feel like both Life Weaver and Mizuki are characters that get their ult, like, really, really fast for, like, no reason. Mercy. Flash Heal has increased Mercy's overall healing output, so her ult cost has been increased to account for this. Damage boost is reduced to offset her increased value, with that power shifted into Chain Boost to improve its viability. Chain Boost additionally increases damage boost by 5%, Caduceus Staff damage boost reduced from 30 to 25%, and Valkyrie ultimate cost increased 7%. Out of all the changes to Mercy, I think this is the best one they could do. Especially because they not only walked back on their nerf to her last patch, but they also buffed her again. Because, like, they let her keep, like, the flash heal and stuff, but also walked back on their nerf to her movement and then gave her another perk that made her movement even better, I think. So I think this is totally fine. It's exactly what a lot of Mercy players were asking for, reducing the damage boost to 25%. This will make hit scan feel a lot less oppressive, especially on console. And I think that Valk increasing by 7% is nowhere near the end of the world. It's an okay ultimate, but it does charge very fast and can be very annoying to deal with. Mizuki, so we might see another... Low-key, I think that I would like to see Mizuki's ult charge reduced again. Because, cost increase, I should say. Because Mizuki, it feels like builds ult, like, ridiculously fast lately. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. Mizuki's Katashiro return is limited by its short duration and long cooldown. Reducing the cooldown and increasing duration improves its availability and flexibility as a mobility tool. Cooldown reduced from 12 to 11 seconds, and duration increased from 4.5 to 5.5 seconds. That's actually pretty good. I like that a lot. See, with Katashiro return, they want you to use it aggressively. They want you to, put your doll behind a corner, go in with, like, your teammate that's, like, diving, like a Genji or something, and then help them with your chain, doing damage and stuff, but it really did feel like it didn't last very long, like, whatsoever. So you kind of just use the Katashiro more as, like, a speed boost to get away from threats with your Survivor passive more than anything. So I like that this is trying to encourage you to use it more frequently, especially considering that it's, like, this was 12 seconds? That's crazy. I thought it was, like, 8. I think that out of, like, a lot of the mobility cooldowns, this is not very, like, amazing. Kiriko's Swift Steps on, like, a 7-second cooldown, by the way, compared to this. Like, what the fuck? Speaking of which, no Kiriko changes, it looks like. Moira? Biotic Orb's output is limited by the mobility and durability of the hero roster. Increasing its damage and healing increases its impact while rewarding efficient placement. Biotic Orb damage per second increased from 50 to 60, healing per second increased from 65 to 75, maximum damage per orb increased from 200 to 250. Okay, so if you're trapped in a room as a 250 hero with a Moira Orb now, it can just straight up kill you. Or, yeah, as a 225 too, it can just straight up kill you on its own. Radical, man. Let's just buff this ability for no reason. Oh god, this is gonna make people feel more vindicated in picking Moira in lower ranks. Wuyong, probably a buff, unless it's just perk changes. It's just perk changes, okay. Rewind healing increased from 50% to 100%, so they just reverted a change, I think, from before. Yeah, I think Wuyong kind of needs a little bit of a buff, man. I feel like he's not doing anything. Core game updates. The roster. Players can now choose their top 3 preferred heroes in each role to be displayed during all pregame phases. Players can change which heroes appear in the roster from the main menu while they're in queue and during pregame phases. Players can opt into displaying 2, 1, or 0 heroes, no preference, but by default those 3 displayed heroes will be the same heroes used on the player cards. And players can see their group members' roster of heroes by opening a social context menu that offers other social options like Whisper and View Career Profile. Map voting updates. The maps on offer should be less likely to be maps you played within the last 5 matches. This change will help players that play for shorter sessions to be much more likely to experience more map variety. This might be difficult because it's like 10 to 12 players that it's kind of trying to balance around. I don't know. Floating combat text has been enabled for the core game's practice range. Is that the, like, damage? That's really good, actually. Post-match accolades retuned many cards that showed up 2 options, looking at you, Echo Sticky Bombs, and increased the odds of some cards appearing. Streamer mode added many new fake names. And then after that, it is some stadium updates. There's a lot of stadium updates, as you can see just from this scroll wheel. I'm not going to be going into any of that. I don't do a lot of stadium on the channel very often, but this is like a bunch of reworks. I'm talking almost the entire roster is getting changed, if not reworked straight up. So if you want to look at it, feel free, of course, but it's not going to be during my video. Alright, from the looks of it, outside of Stadium, that is going to do it for this patch. What do I think about it? I think it's a little underwhelming in the fact that they mostly did a bunch of perk changes. It's something that a lot of people talk about is like, the unfortunate thing about perks is that it makes the devs do a lot more focus on perks, thinking that'll be enough to help the game in whatever state that it's in, compared to like core kit changes, which I'm not really a huge fan of. I just feel like it's just not enough a lot of the time. I think some of the changes are fine, some of them are kind of questionable. I'm not a huge fan of the Hazard one. I think that kind of didn't really address the specific things with Hazard entirely. I think the Rhine one can be kind of scary, especially for lower ranks, just because spamming Fire Strikes down the choke is kind of ridiculous, especially, you know, looking at you, Kings Row second point. I like the Zarya one, the Onron one's fine, you know, Emry's is good. Genji's might be kind of crazy considering they did both. I can easily see this being hotfixed, this specifically right here. I think the Mei one could be a little concerning. The Reaper one is actually kind of crazy, the fact that they nerfed his health. I think the Sierra one was kind of not amazing. I think they could have at least dropped her down to 8 damage. Vendetta's is fine. Jetpack Cat got absolutely guttered. Like, that is just ridiculous. When she was already bad. And then Lifeweaver's fine. I think the Mercy one's good. I think that's a good change. Mizuki's is good. And Moira's is just, I mean, like, it's so hard to do anything to Moira when she's such a low skill ceiling character without it seeming kind of just, you know, miserable to play into. So, yeah, I mean, overall, if I have to give this, like, a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 6. Like, it's okay. Like a 5 or a 6. I am still excited to play the season, though, and with that being said, I'm not gonna actually hop off, so specifically, I can play the new season. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, please sure to leave a like, as also put this video and the channel into the YouTube recommended. And if you like this content or if you like it, like the rest of my Overwatch content, then perhaps consider subscribing and turning on notifications because support channel or anything else, and it's absolutely free. But once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Salem, signing off.
Welcome.